Welcome to this explainer. The darker grid isn't just an awesome sci-fi story about a futuristic energy crisis, shadowy corporations, and black hole asteroid colonies. It is an absolute masterclass in fixed supply, high-stakes tokenomics. Today, we're taking that deep lore and translating it straight into hard, smart contract mechanics. By the end of this, you're going to know exactly how to play the grid. So picture this. Your fuel cell has just finished its 11-day calibration, and it is finally live. You now face a critical, permanent decision on what to do next. In the lore, this 11-day window is called the thermal soak. It's basically the time a newly minted cell needs to find the grid's frequency. But in the code, it's a brilliant latency mechanic. It completely prevents flash loan exploits and forces every single participant to have real skin in the game for at least one full cycle. But once that cell wakes up and goes live, the protocol demands a choice. Once you're live, you're staring down three very distinct paths. You can lock for extreme multipliers, sacrifice for eternal stable yield, or just cash out with a tax. And these aren't just financial strategies. They represent entirely different philosophies. You've got your long game hoarders, your philosophical sacrificers, and your quick exit pragmatists. And the craziest part? Every choice made by one group mechanically impacts the others in this beautiful, closed, self-sustaining loop. All right, let's dive into Path 1, Max and the Loyalists. These guys play the ultimate long game. In the lore, there's a scientist named Elsa Klein who realized that in a standard planetary environment, darker matter crystal growth eventually hits a hard ceiling just because of gravity. But Max? He took this experiment up to Station Libre, a space station with zero gravity. When sealed under negative pressure up there, the crystals don't just grow, they multiply boundlessly in every single direction. Listen closely here, because this is absolutely crucial. By locking your fuel cell in zero gravity for 180 days, you achieve the superconductor state with a massive 100x multiplier. Now, I want to be incredibly clear about this. If you read the old white paper or light paper and saw a 55x multiplier mentioned, you literally must ignore it. That is an outdated spec. The code explicitly dictates that the 180-day lock creates a 100x superconductor. You commit yourself for 6 months and your treasury weight goes absolutely parabolic. And while you're serving out that 180-day lock, you're earning liquid DRK plus dividends every 11 days from the bonus pool, continually absorbing blood tithes from every other player who quits early. Since your cell is sitting in its final superconductor form, you don't just get that massive 100x treasury weight, you're getting a dedicated slice of the 180-day bonus pool. Whenever someone else breaks their cell open early or bails on their lock, their penalty flows directly into this pool. The weak hands literally pay the strong hands. Okay, let's shift gears and look at Path 2, Tyler Durden and the Voidwalkers. If the Loyalists are all about hoarding, the Voidwalkers are all about permanence and sacrifice. In the story, there's a colony stationed right on the edge of a black hole, and they practice this unique, almost religious ritual. They don't hoard their charged cells. Instead, they carry them deep down the east tunnel, feeling the gravity fade away, and they release their most valuable assets directly into the void. Translating that atmosphere into smart contract code, sacrificing your cell permanently to the void grants you an eternal, non-inflationary stream of wrapped DAI stablecoin yield. On-chain, this is known as the sacrifice vault. When you send your NFT here, it is permanently burned from your wallet. Poof, gone. But in return, the contract registers you for a permanent, lifetime slice of the stable pool. You completely stop earning the highly volatile native token, and you start earning eDAI, a real external stablecoin asset. And it gets better. The accrued DRKR you forfeit actually redistributes to the rest of your mint round bloodline, while trading bots get taxed 10% to perpetually fund your eDAI rewards. This right here is a masterclass in game theory. When you sacrifice, those accrued tokens don't just vanish. They're gifted to your bloodline, the players who minted in your exact same round. And that eDAI stablecoin? The protocol has a 10% sentry tax explicitly targeting arbitrage bots. The bots feed the pools, and the Voidwalkers just live off the bots forever. For those looking for a different route, there's Path 3, the deplete exit strategy. Look, we know not everyone wants a 6-month lock or a permanent sacrifice. Some players just want their energy right now. But breaking a cell open is a highly violent process. The split second that negative pressure seal is broken, 10% of your darker matter instantly vaporizes into the atmosphere. You can only ever recover 90% of what was inside. That vaporized 10% acts as a quitter tax, and mechanically, it flows straight into the pockets of the Loyalists who chose that 180-day lock. Remember those pulse dividends we were just talking about in Path 1? Yeah, this is exactly where they come from. The smart contract captures that 10% penalty and routes it straight to the 180-day bonus pool. So the deplete path gives you instant liquidity, sure, but it forces you to leave value on the table, enriching the die-hard community members you leave behind. Finally, we reach the climax of the system, the instant legend play. Beyond the baseline economy we've covered, the grid has a highly volatile jackpot mechanic layered right on top. At the end of every 11-day round, a drawing occurs. Every 740 fuel cells minted funds one winner slot, with a payout ranging from a floor of 333 DRK all the way up to a capped 1,332 DRK. If you win, you can totally just claim it straight to your wallet. Or you can make the ultimate move. The true instant legend play is executing the claim to void function on a 1,332 mega jackpot, sacrificing the DRK to score maximum stable pool weight in a single legendary move. Instead of just taking the tokens, you redirect that massive 1,332 mega jackpot straight into the black hole. By doing this, you capture months and months worth of regular sacrifice weight with one single click. Your share of that permanent, bot-funded eDai stablecoin yield becomes absolutely massive. And those tokens you forfeited, they actually stay in the pool, pushing the next round's jackpot closer to the cap. As you step into the darker grid and weigh these mechanics against each other, the choices are yours, and they are permanent. Will you ride that zero-gravity 100x superconductor multiplier? Will you live off eternal yield as a void walker? Or will you hunt the 11-day rounds, waiting to execute the ultimate instant legend maneuver? The code is written, the lore is set. Which legacy will you choose?
Hey kids, this is Pulse Ray Vision coming to you live from Cuatro Cinco Studios in my mom's basement. And as you can see from that little explainer video, there's a couple weird little glitches from AI about the thermal soak. I don't know where I got the thermal soak, but it's the sinking, which basically means, takes one whole round or 11 days to for your fuel cell to be eligible to hit the lotteries, and then also to stake. So you got to see if you won the lottery before you stake. So you have 11 days to mint, and then you have an 11-day round, and then you can stake and snatch up your jackpot if you hit jackpot. So yeah, that's really the mechanics here. Anyways, let's just jump through some boomer tabs. I'm just doing an update. You guys got 5 days left to join round 5. And after that, you got to wait for the next spaceship. So the next spaceship leaves in 5 days, and then you got to wait 16 days for the next spaceship. And what do you need for a ticket? You need darker matter. Dark matter is what you needed last year. This year you need darker matter. In the future, you might need a darkest matter. I don't know. I did get this to work finally. Shout out to HexGlenn. HexGlenn's like, you need to log in, and I logged in and I still couldn't find it for like 20 minutes. But I got dark mode here on my Folding at Homes app. Shout out to Dr. Doge. Those guys are really cool, doing some science and some really cool game theory, giving out some amazing tokens for helping out science and medical research. In fact, I should show you guys that. Is that on here that I saw that? Work units, actions. One of these actually, if you go to projects, is that it? Somewhere here, it'll show you the protein, like a visual picture of the protein being folded. No. Here's a bunch of news about folding at home and the breakthroughs that they've made on stuff like cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes. Yeah, very interesting stuff here. Maybe it's right here. No. Let me show you guys all my stuff. Appearance. No, here's my appearance. Dark mode. That looks good. Teams. No. Where in the world did I find that? It's under view. There it is. here's the 3D of the protein right here. So this is the protein that we're working on right now. This one is not loading yet. Let's see if 2 works. 3, 1. Maybe it's because we just started on this one. Let's go back. No, that one's 30% done. Let's see if this one pulls up. There we go. So this is like what the protein looks like that we're folding in a 3D model that we're checking. I think we're checking out all these variations of what would happen if you move the molecules around, or the protein, if you restructured the protein. I don't know for sure. I just know it's pretty cool looking. So shout out to Dr. Doge. Go there to drdoge.net and follow the easy steps, and then put your GPU to work mining Dr. Doge token and a bunch of other cool ones here. Let's see here. So you can merge it, and right now they're paying out Hex, Green Wick, Indican, Darker, Nuts, and Morbius. That if this were like a package right now on like Aave or 2Fucks or Balancer, this would be a hell of a basket of tokens right here, especially with Hex leading the way, and you'd never have enough Darker. So we'll go into that too. I think the people that have gotten their Darker are going to be in a good spot going forward, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Let's see here. Doom scrolling Twitteroonies. What's rich?
Wait till new all-time highs. I can't wait till new all-time highs. I'm gonna shove it down everyone's throat so hard. When I browse Twitter now, it's like blocked. I am blocked by a lot of people, and that's fine, because what utility did they offer?
All right, so he's excited. Here's flooding your own bags. He tries to take out this like dummy and then bounces his own head off the ground. The tablets are working. Look at that, all the way up to almost a quarter of a penny. I've been telling my folks at work that have Hex, that have watched their 20,000 go down to $1.52. I've been like, you need to buy some more Hex now. Like before it hits a penny, you need to scoop up some more Hex so that it balances out that loss. And so it's even like basically 100 extra bags right now for the same price that people were putting in during the 40 cents, 50 cents. Grand Inquisitor says, probably popular opinion, but brutally honest, everyone's going crazy over pulse chain pumping, and I'm over here like still hibernating. What pump y'all talking about? Ain't seen no damn pump yet. Not even close. So, yep, look at that one. That was nice. Apparently, if you post that Hex is pumping, you get hundreds of likes. Yeah, let's do it. Let's just continue that. Repost. Your friend saw me. Who else still believes in Hex? This chart is combined Hex, which adds E-Hex, P-Hex together to see the true price history. It's up 86% from the low, but still down 99.58 from the high. If combined Hex goes back to 55 cents, it would return here. Wow. If they both go up there, and they're both right now worth, I don't know, maybe a third of a penny together or something like that. Or I think E-Hex is crazy low. Yeah, even if combined Hex goes to a modest 5 cents, it's still a whopping 24x from here. Incredible, Mr. Sami, with your fluffy slippers and your cold orange juice, your pointy elbows, and your squeaky chair. Somebody get this frog a gun. Apparently, Wix, we can probably show this, but there's a gun game.
All up on them white sleep. You gon' see, it's a fucking murder deep. You gon' see, don't you turn your back on me.
All right, so now we're copyright struck, and they will shut down monetization, which means I'll never get that 2.4 cents I've always hoped for. On the other hand, it does make it harder for you guys to see. Yeah, boom, E-Hex just shit out of zero like it was nothing. Boom, so it's a tenth of a penny, man. So the combined is actually like 0.032 or 35. I don't know. It's pretty awesome. So can it go up? Yes, it can. That is all. All right. And then, of course, God candles will continue till morale improves. How do you chart a straight line? Beautiful, beautiful. Love the Twitteroonies. Shout out to Dr. Doge and HT for reposting these, giving us love. She sees through crypto. Thank you for liking that one. Nuclear 33 liked the repost. Cool. Good to meet you. I'm following them. Very interesting. All right. Let's go to the next Boomer tab. Scan.morbius.io. If you guys thought that Morbius was just a really cool casino with a very sexy voice when you tip them, you would be wrong. There's a bunch of super stake stuff going over here. There's the scanner, which audits and looks at code and contracts and tries to catch honeypots and scams and rug pulls. Very interesting stuff he's building over here. Shout out to Fire Kyle. And then let's go to our favorite website in the entire world. This is where we want to spend some time here at agproject.io. At agproject.io, you can just go home, and just on the home screen, you can see your balance of Darker, the price of Darker, $1.53 right now, the countdown to the next round, which is round 5, and the gas. You can see where to buy. You can see the logo of the wallet you're connected to, so wait, am I connected through Internet Money? Am I connected through MetaMask? It'll show you right there. And then, of course, you can copy the contract address up here so that you're buying the right Darker matter. You're not buying a Fugazi. Speaking of Fugazi, I've been asked a question by a lot of people lately, which is, where's Richard's diamond? Where's this 5555 hex diamond, the black diamond? I think he should just, I don't know. I think that was one of the more interesting things about his outrage marketing. And it'd be great to get an update on that and just see the pretty rock. This is tax exempt. It tells you if you have 10 NFTs or not. And if you're tax exempt, it tells you the rank you are in NFTs, which this one's Navigator. And then the supply tab up here is really interesting. It shows you where the hard cap of 2,222,222 Darker are. There will never be any more Darker. Most of it sitting in the FOMO treasury waiting to pay people out over the next 2 years. There's 13.7% circulating supply, and that is down from 32.7%. So that's pretty good. That's more than half. We're down more than half down in our circulating supply since the airdrop. Mystery Box has about 7%. Jackpot is working its way to 6%, and the 180-day pool is working its way towards 7%. So that's pretty interesting. 58% of the airdrop has been minted, and out of the 58% that's been minted, 0.5 has been staked. And so this stuff has been locked long-term, most likely for 6 months or more before people, and that's just the start of the stake. So when you stake your fuel cells to get them supercharged, it takes 180 days to become a superconductor, to get that yield, and then that yield continues as long as you leave it staked. So as long as you leave it staked, you're going to get way more from the treasury, and as long as you leave it staked, you can go get liquid Darker from that pool that's running towards 7% of supply, and that pays out every 11 days forever once it hits. Of course, no one's going to hit it until New Year's Eve. So right around New Year's Eve is when the first stakers are going to start maturing and pulling from that pool, and then other people will join as they get their 180 days in, which is why people that are here in the beginning, like the price has been a little crazy, and the supply is low, and the payout from the treasury is just dust. It's peanuts. It's you're spending one whole dark to mint a fuel cell, and then if you're lucky, you're getting like 0.003 dark back in the first payment, and you're like, this is a bad deal. And it is right now. But if you stake it and you just give up that, when you stake it, you give up your treasury yield for those months, so you're really getting no yield to get to join that club. So that yield's going to other people for the first round, first season mostly. And that's when you want it to, because that's the lowest payouts is during the first season. So to serve your 180 days to get locked during the first season is actually a good move. That's a Chad move right there. So yeah, we've had $16,700 paid out in EDI to the sacrificers to the void. Those are people that gave up their jackpot winnings and let it snowball to the next jackpot. And in turn for that, they got credit for sacrificing whatever their winnings was to the void. 3,000 mints, 3,000 fuel cells, NFTs, were sacrificed to the void accidentally by Hugh Maitri. Is his comment still up? Yeah. Don't sacrifice your fuel cells before staking. Ahoy, mates. It's Friday. It is Friday, isn't it? Hey, legends. Hey, what's up? So, yeah, Hugh sacrificed those, and I think that they were only worth like 90 darker. Hang on. Yeah, so on one hand, he didn't get a lot of credit in the EDI pool for those 90. I think it was like 90 because we got paid like 3 per 100, so 3,000 would be 90. But he did make a crazy sacrifice. I think it was in round 1. So that means that the people that minted in round 1 have 3,000 fewer fuel cells competing with them. So every move here affects the ecosystem. There's so many nuances and ways to play this. And like I said, the best thing you can do with dark matter is you click how to play. You want to mint, you want to farm, you want to get paid. So I think instead of farm, we should just change that to stake. So mint, stake, get paid. Because farm, yeah, you do go to fuel cell farms to stake. But yeah, I think we should just put stake. Let's change that right now with our good old Claudie baby. On the how to play, let's change number 2 to stake instead of farm. There we go. Nice. All right. So first we're going to mint. We have 600 burning a hole in our pocket, and we only have 5 days to mint them. So let's go with 200 of these bad boys. Let's mint 200 of them. Right now the gas is 366. That's sweet. And then it'll break it up into 2 batches of like 150 and 50 or something like that. So, it's 100. So we're going to use 100 right there. Let's do it. So fast is 12 cents. Ape was 22 cents, and now it's 14 cents. So we'll spend the extra 2 cents to ape into that one. And then it should go to batch 2. So it's 1 of 2. Shout out to ZKX Wallet. Hopefully they add a lot more support to the Pulse Chain Network, and they show the fact that all right, pop me up another one here. They also will hopefully show that darker is more than 0, because right now it's 0. So we're going to pay another 14 cents here and get those minted. And then we should get some fireworks right here. Get the next block, hopefully. All right, boom, there's our fireworks. So we've minted, and now we're going to stake. Still says farm, but it'll say stake soon. So we go to my bags, and then we got to go to a round that's already finished. So in this case, we have round 3 that's already finished, and we'll go to manage fuel cells, and we have 346 that we haven't staked yet. So we're going to stake 20% of those, as we've still got a few days to show you guys how to stake these. So we'll try to make them last. So we have 20%, and we're going to stake those. And here's the 20% that we're going to stake. We're going to say, I understand I'm staking these. I won't get any yield while they're staked. And then we're going to choose the 180-day stake. It's going to see if we won the jackpot, which we didn't. That one cost a penny. And then it'll have us. Boom, there we go. Next round jackpot hasn't been drawn yet. Yeah, I know that. Close. Okay, so this is round 3. Come on. Let's stake them. There we go. So batch 1. Confirm in our wallet. This is going to cost us 19 cents to 8-bin or 10 cents to go fast. So we're going to spend 10 cents to get these staked. And then we'll get this rev, this huge rev that boosts toast. Boom, 100x. Congratulations, 69 fuel cells. Nice. We'll have access to the 180-day bonus pool claims when they mature. Killer move, click anywhere to dismiss. So we got those staked. So what have we done? We minted, we staked, now we want to get paid. So we can get paid at the jackpot, which is going down in 5 days. In 5 days, 78 NFTs. Whoa, hang on, stop. This was 999 last night. It looks like some of these sacrificed from round 3. There's 6 unclaimed from round 2, and there's 3 unclaimed from round 1. That doesn't make sense. They must have pushed it over. We must have been right there because it says 13 winning fuel cells across 3 rounds, never claimed, never sacrificed, which is worth 12,000. So this must have bumped up, and wow, we have a mega jackpot again for round 4. 1,332 paid out for people that minted on average 740 darker. So like I said, right now the minting of the fuel cells isn't paying back in darker in terms of treasury yield yet. However, the people that have hit the jackpot have been killing it and came through again with way more sacrifices than claims. So let's see here. Chance draw. Your all-time winnings is 999. Still unclaimed. But how many were claimed? So in round 3, 21 were claimed, 52 were sacrificed. In round 2, 7 were claimed, 75 were sacrificed. That was a big one. That one was big. And then round 1, 43 were claimed and 163 were sacrificed. So we're back at mega jackpot, people. I didn't know that until just now. Excuse me. So you can win the jackpot in 5 days if you minted for round 4. If not, you better mint for round 5 if you want to win that jackpot, because if the sacrifice continues, then it could, be right there, because there's a lot less winners right now in round 5 than in round 4. In fact, let's go back here to fuel cell farms. As you can see right now, the treasury payout is nothing. And then it climbs 5x. So the second season, you can get some decent returns, especially if you've already served your 180-day stake. And then in season 5, it goes up another 5x. So 25x total from the beginning. And it just takes off. Like the 66. So the first round paid out 733 darker to like 100 and almost 160,000 NFTs. So it was, like I said, dust, obviously. So 733 in the first round, and the last round is going to pay 91,000 darker. And I can't imagine we would have 91,000 minted at that point. I could be wrong, but this is, the mints are going to get smaller as darker is harder to get a hold of. And that means that these payouts will be outsized and bigger. I mean, there might be a bunch of people coming to the community and seeing a rise in price, like some crazy candles, and just ape into it at a much, much higher price. And they might buy, like there are people out there with some serious degen money. They might come in here and buy a few thousand tokens and mint them and try to hit the jackpot, especially if it stays at the max. But as you can see, there's only 29,000 that are minted right now for 5. So we went from 57,000, almost 58, to 29,000 with 5 days left. I think we might be around 35,000 is my guess. And you can win some dark by guessing this on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Go there and you can actually repost one of my tweets to win 20 for guessing what this number is going to be in 5 days. And you can also get 20 darker for being the last person to guess right before the clock ticks over. So check that out. But let's pull up the handy dandy calculator. And right now at 29,000 divided by 740. Right now there's 39 winners. So there were 78 winners. Next one's going to have only 39 winners right now. Maybe, like I said, if we go up to 35,000, you're looking at you're looking at another 10 winners. Either way, that's the jackpot's going to be harder to hit later. But if you mint and stake now, by the time you serve your 180 days, you'll be hitting like the end of season 1, beginning of season 2. And that's kind of where you want to be. That's the sweet spot. All right, we're going to go back to how to get paid. Hang on. Live, blah, 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 Vercel's deploy. Let's see if it's deployed. Production 5 minutes ago. Okay, so we just have to do a refresh here. And it should say stake. All right, how to play. Stake, mint, stake, get paid. That's way better. I love that. I find something new every day that does not sound right or taste right in your mouth. So mint, stake, get paid. We talked about the jackpot. Now we're going to go to claim EDI. This address was able to sacrifice one winner of 333 dark to the void after the first round. So it has a weight of 333. Right now that is 2,555. So $2.55 in EDI that we could claim and go shopping with, or it's just cash. It's just free money. And like I said, $16,716 has been paid from sell pressure through our converter bot, because 5% of every mint goes here to the EDI pool. And then it also fills up the jackpot in the 180-day pool. That's where those are funded from minting. So that by playing the game, it funds the game, which is cool. But 16,000 is insane. We'll check our liquidity today, but at the beginning, we only had a couple grand of liquidity, $5,000 that we were just growing it naturally and pretty much from the community. And yeah, bananas. It's crazy that it didn't completely destroy the price. So there's your EDI. Also coming in the future, some bonus buys. So the top buyers right here, look at these top buyers that are net buyers of darker off the market. They are looking at a 5% bonus right now. So top buyer right here, which I don't actually recognize that one at all. They've got 686 cells, and they bought and they minted. That's pretty damn good. They got 6 bonus points. That's worth 34 darker. So look at 34 darker just for being number 1 person at this point. This is going to probably take place in a couple of rounds, or this is going to go live where you can claim it. This person's got 16, 12. This person has a 1/10 of one. These people haven't earned a whole 1/10 of one yet. But you can see your competition here is pretty low, and I'll show you on the charts why I think that is. The third way to get paid, 180-day bonus pool. 147,000 darker here out of the 2.2 million. That's an insane. That's 6.6%, almost 7% of the whole supply is just sitting in this, and it's going to continue to just sit in this bonus pool for the next 150 days. It'll pull up here in a second because it's going to read it from the chain. But as you can see, it's locked for another 152 days. And 152 days, if this were to be today, I could claim 51 tokens out of my 1,478 that I've staked. But not all of those are going to be mature on the state down here, the earliest date. Some of those will be, eligible to claim a week later or 2 weeks later, another 11 days later, because that's the cycle. Is you got to mint, then you got to sync, and then you can claim, sacrifice, and steak at the end on the third season. So basically, there's like a 3-season cycle for you guys. Round. There's a 3-round cycle. First round, you want to mint for the next round. Next round, you just sit and wait. Then the third round, you go back, see if you hit the jackpot, claim or sacrifice that, and then you can stake those for 180 days. So it actually takes 2 rounds to start your 180-day stake, and your 180-day stake is like 16.36 rounds or something like that. So it's an 18-round process to really compete with the whales and with the people that are following the cheat codes. People can also donate darker tokens to this pool, meaning in the future, a mystery box or whales that are feeling benevolent that want to really stress how important this pool is could very easily throw some extra darker in here to make it more tempting. They can also throw some extra darker in the Edai to make the sacrificing more tempting as well. But yeah, very interesting ideas here. What the people that want to pump these bags can do to help the community. There's so many things they can do. But if I were to guess what this is going to be in 152 days, well, there's only like 13% still circulating that can be minted without people claiming their jackpots and minting with those. And then, of course, there's, a whale sitting on like 95,000, the biggest whale right now. So that could put a bunch in here because 40% of every mint goes into here. So I'm trying to think of like, if there's 300, let's just say there's 300,000 tokens that are not minted and staked and not in the treasury, basically. Then if all of those 300,000 minted, then this would have 0.4. So this could see another 120,000 in it, possibly. So that'd be 270,000 darker matter in this pool that is going to be paid out every 11 days forever in liquid darker matter straight to your wallet. I'm just saying, you guys got to get your hands on dark, mint the fuel cells, wait the round and stake, get those 180 days under your belt. That is the move. That is the prep right now. And I understand it's a crazy time in Pulse Chain. Everyone's starting to chase those green candles that we haven't seen for 5 years. And good luck. I wish everyone luck with that. So there we go. That's the whole enchilada right there. In fact, let's see. What day is it in 5 days? Looks like round 5. It started Wednesday. It's going to start on Wednesday. So round 4 ends on Wednesday, the 5th, and round 5 starts on the 5th. So Wednesday at noon, at 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern, this is going to roll over and be locked, and you're not going to be able to mint for 5 at all ever again. You'll have to start minting for 6, and then you'll have to start minting for 7 and 8 and 9. And this number, I believe, is going to be the opposite of this right here. So look at this hockey stick, the FOMO curve that goes up exponentially. I imagine that this minting will go down exponentially. That's most likely what I mean. And when it goes down and people want to continue minting, for the order of the mint, they've got to buy darker off the market, or they might be able to get a good deal over on, where was this? Let's see if there's any of them left. Who the hell is it? There it is. 0x Bistro. Let's refresh this and see what's for sale. There was some darker on here. Looks like there's still a few darker left. There's 62% of this sold out. They're listed at $120, guys. You can go buy darker for $120 straight off of OX Bistro with Edai or USDC and get it for $120. And right now the price is one of the price feeds. This is, I think, a more conservative price feed is $144. Oh, it was $153 when we started this stream. people must be chasing those grid candles or taking out some money to pay some bills. So it's $1.44 there. Another thing going on that I was just looking at is this right here is the buy bot that's been buying all of these tokens. Every time people hit the make it rain button and it puts sell pressure on there, it's come back and it's been buying the tokens back off the market and actually slowly raising the price, not only just supporting it, but raising it. The thing is, it's gone through thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's amassed, I think it already sent off 6,000 or 7,000 darker before now, and right now it has 3,000, 3,500 darker. It's accumulated over 10,000, I believe, darker. Here's the problem: there's only $5.97 left of EDI. So, I mean, if you want to fund this, you can fund this. But I mean, I'm just saying that with this running out, when people mint, we could see some red candles again. But at the same time, and liquidity is kind of staying the same. So we'll just have to see where these buy at. I think the buy bot might wait until, if the price goes down to a previous low or something like that. In fact, let's check that out. So before we get there, Rings of Dust, I've been reading this. If I had time today, I would read chapter 26 right here, which needs to be redone because we fixed a bunch of stuff in it on a bunch of just hallucination and drift from other ones, some redundancies too. We're kind of dumb. But yeah, we can read that, but that's the Rings of Dust. You can get this link on our Telegram, t.me/antigravity saga. Here's the playlist on YouTube of 31 of these. I believe there's 3 or 4 more I need to add. Bitcoin price, what's Bitcoin doing today? Bitcoin is not feeling well today. It's at 62 grand. Its little sister Ethereum. Let's see what she's doing. She is also taking a sick day from school. Down to 1850. Oh, Ethereum, you got some problems, bro. All right, so here's darker matter and dye right here. And here's the next, August 5th right here. This is round 5, which, by the way, are we missing our, this needs to be brought down here so we can see it better. Round 3, round 4, round 5. And then here's our UFOs at $2.22, $3.33. We'll probably put one up at $4.44 as well, because those are the numbers. 111 has already been crossed several times. In fact, it didn't break 111 on this previous low. Interesting, right? Anyways, I think if the price does get beaten down all the way down here to like maybe this last resistance at 70 cents, or maybe it goes all the way back down to 34 cents, 35 cents. I think that the buy bot might just be, because the buy bot was part of all of this, along with some buyers that just 2x the price overnight, basically. And then it kind of held this together, and you can see where some dumpage happened and some places where it went offline, and then you can see it just carrying the torch with a bunch of buyers again. So at $1.53, that $1.20 over on Bistro might not last long, because you're just getting free darker, basically just discounted darker. Absolutely beautiful, nuts. Let's see, Pulse is up 1%, Hex is up about 1%, Pulse X is up about 2%, Wick is down a bit, Actuator's down a bit, Dr. Doge is pretty much at 0 on the 24. Pink Miswell is up 8.5%. What is Pink Miswell doing right now? Wow, $44 for a million Pink Miswell. Interesting. Boom. Look at this. That's a hell of a bounce right there, and a hell of a candle from someone being like, I want Pink Miswell. And even this is pretty damn steep. So doing good there. And then let's actually price it in Pulse and see what it looks like. Wow. So in Pulse, the bottom was actually way before this crazy buy candle. And in Pulse, we're actually at resistance before all-time high. So we're at 4.7 Pulse per pink as well, and our all-time high was like 12. Crazy. Let's go to Wick and Pulse. This is a pretty good looking chart here against the USD, making new highs right here, launching a gun game. But if you put it in Wrap Pulse, it's disgusting. It's like spike, flatline, spike, mohawk, flatline, climb. This is like, that is an insane chart against Pulse. Insane. Wouldn't wonder, that's probably why we got some liquidity paired with the Wick. Darker and Hex, it's got 1.2K liquidity in it. Wait, what was DAI? DAI has 1K of liquidity in it. It used to have 2K. Oh, so it looks like there's less liquidity on the DAI pair, and then Hex was at $1.53. PulseX is at $1.56 with 1.2K liquidity in it. And then you got Wrapped Ethereum with about $1,000 in there, and it's at $1.49. Whoa. Jeez, you could go to Bistro, buy that $1.20 darker, and you could sell it to Weth for $1.49. Not bad. Let's see here. Peacock, Darker and Peacock's got $200 liquidity hanging on, and it's hanging on above a penny. Neon and Pulse, Neon, Nexion, Pulse.com. This is a pretty interesting swoop right out of this big old bucket, this big old half pipe. Look at that. Interesting. I wonder what the whales are going to do now. Wonder. Hex time tokens, which, yeah, you can view them in dollars, but that's not what they're for. You want to view them. Oh no, this is in Hex. Okay, good. So we're going to view them in Hex, and right now they're basically less than half a Hex. So this stuff is going to mature in about 4,000 days, I think. Isn't that right? Actuator, we're on day 2432. Oh wow, so even longer than that, like 4,500 days or 4,600 days. That's a long time. And so because that's a long time, the delta value, or the delta premium or discount, I guess you'd say, which delta stands for time, the time discount you're getting is 60%. It's going to be a while till it hits it again. But look at this. It goes all the way from like 29% of a hex up to 60% of a hex. Then it went back down to 40%, went back up to 70%, went back down to 45%, went up to 69%. Nice. And then it's all the way down at, someone picked it up here at 40 again, 40% of a hex. I think this would be a very easy swing trade to just go to Squirrel Swap Pro, squirrelswap.pro, and set these buy and sell limits on the chart and just switch from Hex to Hex time token, and basically just improve your bags that way. That would be pretty cool and easy. Like, I shouldn't say easy, but either way, the impermanent loss is fairly. Your impermanent loss, it could be good against the dollar, but either way, you're going to end up with a bigger bag of Hex time tokens or Hex. So they're both going to be based on the Hex price. So that one's interesting. What is what's 3,000 up to? 3,000 is different. So 3,000 is only 600 days away. So it's 2 years away, give or take. And this one has been as low as 59% of a hex, and as high as almost a hex, almost a total hex. It went all the way up here and tapped 95% of a hex. So again, somebody bought a bunch of these at 62% of a hex, and it's already 70% of a hex. That's 10% more hex. So basically, this is the thing is, when it goes down, you want to switch your hex for hex time token. When it goes up, you want to switch your hex time token for hex, and you would just continue to do that because this thing is so volatile and crazy right now. And with the money pumping into hex, it's gonna shake this up. So I don't know. I think that's a really interesting move. If I didn't have a job, I would probably stay home and do stuff like that. Degen, just degen and gamble and trade, try to get bigger bags. Nuts and wrapped pulse. Another interesting one. This is the chart against wrapped pulse, which is disgusting. By the way, look at that. Just straight up and then just sending it. That is ridiculous. This might be a dip. Like, that was a decent dip to buy on. This might be a decent dip to buy on. It's got 16K liquidity paired with pulse, and the darker nuts pair has, where's my darker nuts? There they are. Darker nuts pair has 1.5K liquidity in it right now. And yeah, look at that. Might be a good entry. Darker over here is at $1.56. Not bad. Again, especially when you go buy it for $1.20 on OX Bistro. There's how many are left? Just so you guys know. Let's refresh this because it might have been bought since we talked about it. Okay. 62% is filled. So if you were to buy all of these, there's 376 left. And the value of those would be $527. But if you were to buy them all with DAI, you'd pay $450. Okay, so what I'm telling you guys is you can go buy 376 darker for $455 right now. They have a value of $527. So $70 of free darker. That's crazy. And I mean, you can arbitrage, you could dump, you do whatever. But normally when we see people buy these from 0x Bistro, we see most of them turned around and minted because people understand the game and they want more game pieces. Let's go here. Squirrel Swap. He's got all sorts of stuff: products, bots, tools, RNG flow, NFT. NFT. He's got some really hot and dangerous girlfriends. Obviously, his nuts, his play, his fees, stocks. He did send me a bunch of information which I need to go into, and maybe I'll be streaming about it tonight. But yeah, very cool stuff. Check this out. This is where you can get the squirrels NFTs, and basically you pay 0 fees if you have a 555 squirrel on the site when you do swaps and other things right there. That's very cool. And then you got the liquidity. So this is liquidity of dark. Right now it's at 41K. Let's refresh it. Okay, 37K. So we got 37K across these pairs. They're all V2 right there. And you can see them actually listed right here. You can see the tokens that are up front, like Wix and Gelato and Pulse Bitcoin, and even Exterminator, because there's, oh no, that's PTGC's clear up there. PTGC's at almost $1.60. And then you see the stuff lagging, like PDI's back here at $1.37. Hex is back here. So at $1.38, according to this, although this doesn't index super fast. And so this might be a little back, but not too bad. Anyway, yeah. So Squirrel Swap has NFT, marketplace, liquidity. You have your, here's the Gelato pair right there. You have your portfolio as well, Pool Explorer. Oh, this is the pool again. So we have 2 pools. Yeah, let's change this one to tools. And then let's go to portfolio. And here's ours right there. So you can pull up your portfolio right now. It'll show you how many tokens you have. It'll show you your DeFi, which we did get paid from the Switch X burn we did about last week. So right now it says I've got $882 of tokens, including the dark, the nuts, Dr. Doge. Actually, I think I've minted some of this since it updated. So either way, it's 600. I have 400, but either way, that'll disappear. Got some nuts in here, some Dr. Doge, some actuator, and then let's see, do we have any LP? Nope, there's no LP provided. What about Hex? So I got Hex. No, I don't got Hex. What about DeFi? Well, if I go to DeFi, here's my actuator tokens, where it's, giving me actuator from pairing, providing liquidity between Hextime token 7000 and Hex. So in a way, because I'm providing liquidity, I'm already DCing in and out of those two. But there's $27 of actuator sitting over, 53 cents of actuator have been paid. I can go claim, and then $27 of the whole value of all of that stuff, which at one point it was like worth way over 100. It was like $160. We put like $60 in, and then it was like $160 the last pump before we died a slow death. Dr. Doge, it shows me getting all these little chunks of all these cool coins for doing my folding at home. And then Switch, here's our 3 cents from burning the Switch X tokens. So that's cool. That's pretty cool. And then here, yeah, this is the portfolio I just showed you. So we'll use that for another one. Nexion protocol, you build, earn, explore. Here, whole universe, great looking chart. Vault 369, you can put your Mr. Pervax in here. You can put a bunch of other stuff in here, and it is launching and gaining collateral and stuff. VersaVault coming soon. We'll give you more on that. Wix Picks. This is where you can play the gun game. This is where you can look at the DEX aggregator, aggregator. So this, you put in what you want to buy and what you want to sell, like what you want to use to trade, and it'll tell you who gives you the very best deal out of all of the aggregators. And then, of course, there's all these websites, which I think the gun one should be on here. The game. Either way, there's NFT guns going around. Here is the simulator on a globe of all of the wallets holding Wix right here in different cities. Morbius.io. We are just going to step in here for 1 second and tip the dealer.
Thanks for the tip, sweetie.
All right. Yeah. I think that's about it with my boomer tabs. That's about it. Like I said, you got 5 days to get in to round 5, and now we know that it is a mega jackpot, which is absolutely crazy. Good luck to everyone who minted for round 4. You could sit in maybe hit a pretty big jackpot and have some more darker to mint with, or a sacrifice to go after some of that E-Dye as people mint and it fills up that pool. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day. Remember that you matter. What you do today matters, and you're just be kind to yourself and take care of yourself, because there's no one else on this planet that can be kind to yourself and take care of yourself like you can, and you deserve it. Thanks for being part of the best damn community in crypto, hands down. Shout out to the replay gang later today, and I will catch you on the next one. What's up, Retrostatic? Switching to 0.5 speed. Don't do that. All right. Yeah. Holders win, stickers win harder. That's all you got to know. Let's go out on Corian Investors dark matter right here, and have a great day. We'll see you. Have a great weekend.
I'm talking AGP, anti-gravity project. I respect, staying true to the tech. We got the evil address and the pink Miss Will. Got the dark matter token going up, I can tell. Hey, I can tell this is the start of something fresh. Shout out Hex Revision and Donna Hex, yes. I confess, Hexicans don't stress, cause as a community we one up. So tell me, are you in, or tell me, are you out? Do you want to win, or do you chase the clout? What is this really about? The treasury and lottery. If you meant dark tokens, you can get a part of it. So how does it work? Let me explain. First you buy the dark token, now you're in the game. Then you mint the dark and get a fuel cell. That's an NFT, one that earns yield. As long as you have it, it feels like magic. But if you vaporize the NFT, that's tragic. So most think crypto is a game. Are you here for the fame, or here to make a name? See, Hexicans reign, we create our own lane. I thought I told you, we the new financial gain. AGproject.io with the flow. And if you know what I know, then you know what I know. That's just how it go. Something like to support the team, the dream. Public service announcement. T.me/anti-gravity saga is the telegram. Tap in. It's for y'all. I'm talking AGP, anti-gravity project. I respect staying true to the tech. We got the evil address and the pink Miss Will. Got the dark matter token going up, I can tell.